Well, now let's take a look at the second method for adding personnel records with importing. As mentioned at the beginning of this workshop, there are two sources for importing records coming from an external source, and that is one from a third-party system or populating an import template. There is only one way to import this information, and it's from the Tools menu. Click Third-Party Import Wizard. Here we have it. Now the wizard opens to guide you with information displayed on each screen through the importing process. From the introduction screen, click Next. From the new import session screen, let's click Next again. Now TE allows several types of imported records to populate and update information in your online database, as you may see here. Now, to import personnel records, we're going to select teacher records from a third-party system and then click Next. Okay. The most common type of files for importing records is a comma-separated values file or CSV. Now, to select the import file, we're going to click Browse. Now, from the pop-up window, this is too big. Okay, there we go. From this pop-up window, we will select a saved CSV file. Okay. One that was either exported from a third party or manually populated on an import template. We're going to click Teacher Records 1050 Import. Okay. Now that when the selected file displays in the file name field, click Next. The wizard is now ready to process the import data from the specified file. Now, very important, to avoid duplicates with existing user accounts from importing, uncheck when missing auto-populate required names and user accounts with ID values. Now we're going to click Next. Now, messages you want displayed are the content of the specified import file has been read successfully, and some process records have been found to be invalid, etc. Now, invalid records are intentional. In this case, to give you the opportunity to edit personnel records to link with existing user accounts before the import process completes. Now, importing personnel records automatically adds personnel registration and professional status records linked with user accounts. Now we're going to click Next. The wizard is now ready to process the import data from the specified file. Now, important, to avoid duplicates with existing user accounts from importing, we're going to uncheck when missing auto-populate required. Okay. All right. Give me one moment, folks, here. Right now, invalid records are highlighted with corresponding error message displayed below of list records. Okay. In this case, the error states an invalid user account. Now, again, this is intentional to momentarily pause and edit records before completing the import process to avoid duplicates and link with existing user accounts by substituting the personnel ID with a work-related email as their user account login. Now, click the highlighted record and then click Edit Records at left. Repeat this. Now we're going to check the user account field. We're going to check this user account and enter his email address. There we have it. And then we're going to click Save. Okay. We're going to repeat the process until all records are importable and as indicated by a white list with no highlights. Okay. Or error message displayed at the bottom of the list records. So now let me enter. Oops. And Smith. And save. All right. Now everything is whitelisted as we can see, and now we're going to click Next. Okay, now records are all ready to import. We're going to click the Next button to import the records. All right, now when you see the message displayed, the entire data set has been successfully imported into your online database, click Finish. Now to verify imported personnel records, click More at the top right, or is not needed, actually. The refresh button is right here. So this is what I wanted to click, refresh. There we have it. Okay, now notice the 2 additional personnel records added in the top page from importing. Now click to highlight John Smith to display his professional status record in the page at the very bottom. Okay. Now repeat to see Mary Smith's professional status, personnel employment, and functional roles. Okay. Now, personnel employment status records need to be added manually for imported records. Functional roles will be automatically added if followed up by importing classes with teachers assigned. Okay. These should display below. Now to verify linked user accounts from the organization menu, select users. Now from the user account lister we're going to sort. To display user accounts automatically added and linked to personnel records through the import process, we're going to filter for contains Smith and say OK. Now these user accounts will need to be added to an access group as recommended for managing users, and user login credentials will need to be established for each account. Now until then, these user accounts are non-functional.